everybody needs to have some self-care as well. When you talk about self-care, it's something that's very, very important, but at the same time, people overlook quite often nowadays, no matter how old you are. So we're going to talk about self-care on Neighbor's Day special, and specifically for body, soul, and spirit. And you not only need to care for yourself physically, mentally, and also have to be spiritually. That's what we talk about. Yay! That is awesome. All right. Let's see. The first question for you guys is, have you been taking good care of yourself recently? Well, when I look at this question, I ask for myself, what do you mean by taking good care of yourself recently? For example, have you been sleeping enough hours every day? Have you been eating healthily, nutritionally every day? Have you been joyful or peaceful every day? Have you have a good quality time with God if you're a Christian every day? And sometimes we don't do that every day because life happens and things like that. It's very understandable. But if you don't take care of yourself for a long time, and it's going to have some problems. Um, I have a lot of clients and do counseling that a lot of them, when I ask them these questions, they will either say, actually, no, I think that would be, I have a lot of room to improve. Or some people would tell me like they cannot sleep at all, they cannot eat at all they can eat is junk food. Um, Things like that. And those are not healthy. And sometimes people will tell me like no matter their sleeping or eating habits or they're always stressful, they don't have even 1 minute of peace in their mind. And that's not good either. So I want you to think about these questions. And have you been taking good care of yourself lately? All right. My next question for y'all is, what are the signs of needing self-care? Okay, I will give myself an example for y'all actually. A couple days ago, right before Labor Day's weekend, I was feeling extremely exhausted. And when I say that, I have a severe headache and I could not concentrate on my client's conversation. Although I managed to doing that, and I did finish my counseling sessions that day and finish all the work. But I know I could be better. I know that that was not the level that I was supposed to give it out. Um, the quality of service wise, even though I did manage to finish it. And I feel physically ill, although I did not have a diagnosis of illness or sickness at that moment. I did not catch a cold, I did not have a fever, but I was feeling physically exhausted extremely. And severe headache is very common for a sign that your body telling you need some rest, or um, if you don't have enough sleep recently, and you probably feel very, very sleepy and want to go to bed very early and at nighttime. Um, Also, having anxiety or stressful symptoms also would be a sign of needing self-care. Like sometimes when you become extremely anxious or stressful, you probably become ill physically, and some people will have skin rashes. Some people actually lose their voice, and some people have body pain and things like that, and different symptoms. But imagine that if your body has a voice, what your body is telling you, using all the symptoms and all the signs and telling you, hey, I need some rest. So that's probably every different person have different signs, but generally speaking, your body can tell you when you reach the point that you really need to stop. Okay, next, what is the benefits of self-care? Well, self-care, everybody talks about it. It's a quite hot topic nowadays. and everybody needs it, no matter what job you work at or what school you go to. With the benefit of self-care, body, soul, spirit, right? Physically, you'll regain your energy, you feel better, you're not getting ill anymore. And mentally, you'll be happier, you feel more joyful, and life is not as dark as it used to be, and every day is not as boring as it was. So appropriate level of self-care can improve your quality of life and how you feel about life and look at life. And spiritually, self-care can help you to feel more satisfying and more joyful and more intimate with the Lord, if you're a believer. And that is very beneficial for your spiritual health and spiritual wellness, because when you have a healthier faith, and everything you look at, everybody you meet, everything you do, every place you go will become a joyful experience instead of like a punishment, you know? So this would change your ideas of suffering as well. Okay, what does the Bible talk about self-care, since we are believers at this moment? And well, the Bible actually talk a lot about self-care, believe it or not. So when I did a little research today, and it was pretty amazing to see that even Jesus recommend us to self-care. Well, not self-care does not mean you selfishly care about yourself, but giving yourself appropriate level of taking care of is beneficial. And we're gonna look at some of the scriptures today and just learn it from there. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. And the second is this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There's no other commandment greater than this. I think a lot of people know these two scriptures very, very well, and the church has been widely taught this subject, that the greatest commandment of these two. So I want to focus on the second one a little bit. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. A lot of the times we focus on love your neighbors, which is very true. We shall love our neighbors, no matter who he is or who she is. But at the same time, look at this, as yourself. That which just means you're supposed to love yourself as well. Well, not that does not mean you pridefully or blindly love yourself and seeing that yourself is the greatest, or yourself is the perfect one. But what we're taking here is, if you love others, the same time you shall love yourself. As much as you love your neighbors, as much as you love yourself. So this actually means like take care of yourself. I don't mean that you have to see yourself perfect or see yourself as mighty or powerful or talented in all traits, but at the same time, you'll be able to feel content with yourself and love who you are, and appreciate all the characters um, and personalities as who you are, and love yourself from the bottom of your heart and appreciate the creation of yourself. It is a kind of self-care right there, mentally. So, let's see. The next one is, let no one ever hate his own flesh, but nurtures and cherishes it, just as Christ does the church. Well, think about it. Christ loved the church and Christ cherished the church. Well, our body is not our church, for sure. Our body is the temple of God, and we'll talk about later. But at the same time, and if something is important, you nurture and cherish it. And when we talk about nurtures and cherish, and in real life, that you feed food in your body, and not junk food, but nutritionally healthy food for your body, and also you make sure your body get enough sleep. if all possible, if you don't have like medical conditions. If you do, seek medical advices and take some medications or therapy, and that help it to help make sure your body actually gets some hours of sleep, so your body will not starve or in sleeping or eating nutrition wise, and that would be really really good. But at the same time, do no harm for your body. I'm not talking about like tattoo, those stuff. I'm talking about like self-harm, cutting, and things like that. So cherish your body, nurtures your body, and it's very, very important right here. Okay, let's look at the next one. And he said to them, "Come away by yourself to the desolate place and rest a while." For many were coming and going, but they had no leisure even to eat, and they went away in a boat to a desolate place by themselves. Well, when things get tough and we really have to stop and rest, a lot of times, and when I think of a lot of people, my family, relatives, and even my clients, I have seen a lot of them doing nonstop, but does not rest. And when I say rest, it's not only just you stop working or stop your business, but actually rest your soul and rest your body and rest your heart. That's very important. I think a lot of time the pop culture taught us feel guilty to not work and not being busy. And I think when people ask us, including myself, people ask, "How are you doing?" And oftentimes people will list it, "This is what I do recently," instead of actually saying, "This is how I feel recently." And doing does not mean you are well-being. So working all the time does not mean you're okay. And it's okay to take some rest. So it's hard to not feel guilty about it under this pop culture that we're living in right now. But I do encourage people to actually take some time to rest and have some leisure activities. Make sure you eat, make sure you sleep, make sure you have one or two activities that you actually enjoy by yourself or having friends and families can have relationship with. Those are very important for life. And this one is much more spiritual. Mark verse 35 is talking about Jesus, and he rising very early in the morning while it was still dark. He departed and went out to a desolate place, and there he prayed. Well, a lot of times argue what was the best time to have quiet time and to have prayer time and devotional time. A lot of people choose in the early morning because that's the first time that they start the day, and hopefully they can have a good um, mental status and with the Holy Spirit, so that it will bless every second in the rest of the day. Well, a lot of people also choose different times of the day. Some like between work or driving in the car, or even at night before the bedtime. So what important is not necessary always on the time. I mean, everybody has different schedules, and it's understandable. Sometimes are more convenient than the other. But more importantly is the time, whether you truly have the time to settle down yourself, and there's nothing else from this world, noises and distractions and things like that. But truly just between you and the Lord, and to recharge all your energy that you have been given, and to refresh your spirit, to be able to hear from the Lord everything that He has spoken to you, He has been teaching you, and have a good mindset, and set on the right place and in the right time. So I think it's very important. If Jesus thinks this is very important, I think the follower of Jesus should consider it as important as it is or supposed to be. I think a lot of times, including myself, fall short of that part and having a life or busyness for excuses and thinking, well, Jesus will forgive this and forgive that, and he will understand this, understand that. And there's a lot of room that I personally can do better, and I think that applies for a lot of people as well. So definitely, when you're taking good care of yourself physically and mentally, don't forget the spiritual part as well. Okay, next one is from 1 Corinthians chapter 6, 19 to 20. Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. Okay, this is really cool. That's why I mentioned moments before is your body is a temple, and the holy temple is a very important place to God, and God treasure it, and so we shall treasure it as well. What we do in our body, on our body, that's reflected how we see the relationship between us and God. How important is Him to us, and shall we apply that importance of relationship, that value or treasure of relationship into our body and on our body, and see it as a reflection of it and take care of it. Because we love God, we want to take care of what God created it. So that's a part that emphasizes the importance of taking good care of our wellness, that including our physical, mental, and spiritual. Matthew 11, 28 to 29. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Well, today is Labor Day. A lot of laborers get rest and get holidays, which is a wonderful, great thing. And I really appreciate it. So that was like a physical and mental rest. And spiritually, I think we shall come to the Lord and release our burdens to Him and allow Him to take our yoke with Him so that our burdens will be reduced and our joy will be increased. So that was very, very important. That's a kind of self-care as well. And right here, that the Lord promised that He take care of us and He got us. No matter what circumstances or situations that we face in life, could be very different. Some dark times and harder to see God's presence, or harder to see the path of hope, a way out. But no matter what, the Lord always be with us. So it's very important to remember all the laborers, all who labors and are heavy laden, which is including all of us, most part, everybody, no matter what you have been heavily labored or laden by, and He will give you rest. All right, Isaiah 40:31. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagle. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Well, this is a perfect promise and an example of what's going to happen when the Lord taking good care of you. That you will mount up with wings like eagle, a very powerful and strong signal right there. You shall run and not be weary, and shall walk and not faint. You have the strength to deal with your life. You have the energy to do things, and you would not feel exhausted. You will not feel weary. Well, it's not absolute sense that you will not get tired at all in life. However, you will regain your strength. However, you will find joy, you will find peace. You will be able to endure and difficulties come. So that is very, very important in all this category of taking care of yourself and physically, mentally, and spiritually. So, after we're talking about all of those, how are you going to take care of yourself every day? For example, having some good sleep, eating some healthy meals, moving around your body. If you don't do exercise 30 minutes a day, you cannot have the luxury time to move around. However, move around a little bit around the house, walk around your living room, bathroom, kitchen area, be able to walk around your neighborhood, that would be really good exercise, quote unquote, for sake. And fellowship with believers, if you have a church membership or small group to go to, it will be good to talk with them, chat with them, and have fun with them, and in a spiritual, healthy way. So you will get support and encouragement from them. Your life sharing will be able to encourage yourself and feeling not alone. That is very important. Also, quality time with God. I'm not saying that just checking out the to-do list and hey, I read my Bible today, I pray 1 minute today, and I go to church today. Yay, I'm good. But however, I'm talking about the relationship, the quality time with God. And don't do those religious things just because uh, you are obligated to do it. And this is what you're supposed to do. But do it with passion, do it with love and willingness. And enjoy it if you choose to do so. That's very important. Also, enjoyable activities and like what your hobby like, your interests like, and it does not need to be expensive. Some people take a bath and light up some candles. Some people coloring and journaling. Some people jogging, running. Some people play games, and some people talk on the phone, and some people do other things, drawing and writing and things like that. So um, the thing is that the activity itself is supposed to be healthy, and the activity itself is supposed to bring you joy and enjoyment during the process, and would lift up your spirits before and after. So that is very important if you have one or two of those activities to do every week. Every day sometimes could be a little difficult based on people's schedule, but every week if you can have one or two of those activities to do, that would be very, very, very good. It will help you to have a good balance of work, study, and life, and to help you to maintain in a good spirit, a good, healthy mental status every day with family and friends and yourself. So taking good care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. That is just very important. And I hope everybody can hear it and everybody can learn it and everybody can practice it. And the world can be much better. And have a wonderful week on Labor Day weekend. I know today is the last day of Labor Day weekend, but however, your self care will continue. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.